Yeah, I know I did one that was like 50 to the screen. They really they said not approved.
Damn, so that's how you know they don't want us talking about this.
Yeah, they said
Because
not
that
approved,
they know
bro.
this is the main problem with our people. It's the identity.
Bro, that's wild. This is our third page in like 30 minutes.
For real.
Like, they don't want this one getting out, bro.
They don't want this out.
Oh my gosh. Like,
tap and share the live.
Bro, that's wild. That's wild. Like,
can somebody tell me the biochemical substance of any of these groups up here? Because these are just titles created by a language that isn't ours.
Man, like, the thing is, we clinging on to the titles, though, and they really don't want... This is
our third live about this.
Bro.
They don't want us talking about this because how can our identity be any of these when our identity is in our DNA? We just don't understand the function or the flow of it. We don't understand nothing about it. We don't understand our connection with it and how it connects with the sun. You see what I'm saying? How it connects with the planet, how it connects with each other through quantum entanglement. We're not worried about that.
Bro, this is wild. Please tap and share, y'all.
Yeah, tap and share it live.
Man.
Are so-called black people having an identity crisis? Who are we?
That's a really good question, bro. That's a really good question. Why are we clinging on to titles?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we clinging on to their system, clinging on to money, clinging on to food, clinging on to struggling with addiction? Like, why are we not being real about us not being real? Us not ascending? Why are we not really being real about our spiritual ascension? Because we would have been where we were supposed to be.
Exactly. Us not knowing who we are is slowing down the species' growth and development. That's what's happening. You not knowing that you're made up of a biochemical substance that drives the body. You're the consciousness of a biochemical substance that's cosmic, is made from interstellar gases. You see what I'm saying? It's eons and eons old. It's the master of alchemy. So if you don't understand that you're that, you're going to cling on to, oh, I'm black, and whatever they say black is on TV, and then it programs you. It's telling a lie to your vision. And this is why most of us has a calcified pineal gland. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we grow up, you see what I'm saying, with a calcified pineal gland. And our brain, it controls our whole reality. So if they're telling us so-called black people have neuromelanin, why are we not studying that? Why are we not studying the function of our genetics when that's our DNA?
They really lying and saying that black people, so-called black people, have a lot of melanin. They really lying and people saying that it's just one type of melanin. And even in the midst of them saying what they're saying about us, we're still not exploring that. We still not studying, like, every little nuance that they say about us, we don't explore it unless it pertains to money. And that's the reason why my people are so focused on reparations. Because, like, money. Like, how is it that you want to be wealthy in a system? Like, you are not in the field no more. You're in the work field.
Yeah.
The way that the plantations are structured is just slightly different now. It's the same thing. You're on at 9 a.m. You're off at 5. You're on and off like a light switch.
And by the end of the week, you're weakened. Right. You see what I'm saying? They weaken your electricity. They weaken your electromagnetic field. That's what they want to do. Because they know that's how you manifest. Everything you're doing right now on a daily basis, that's how you manifest. So y'all saying, oh, I want to get out of the system. We got to manifest that really. We really gotta want that within our hearts. With the magnetism within our hearts and the electricity within our minds, we got to use that together to manifest a better tomorrow for our species, our next generation. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we got to focus on.
That's what's got to be the focal point.
The information.
It can't be about furthering the next generation in their system.
Exactly.
Because it was never built to last. And we shouldn't want a shitty system like this to last. Like, we shouldn't want our children to go through. We shouldn't be on TikTok watching our brothers get their teeth knocked out by fucking animals. We shouldn't be okay with being psychologically and medically evaluated by animals. Our children shouldn't be getting taught by these so-called teachers. Like, this is not things that we should actually want. The only reason why you want it is because you've been programmed to want it. But if you actually study your body and what makes you different from the rest of them, then you'll understand why they have to program you. That should make you want to do away with the program, but instead we say no, more program. Let's actually work harder in their system to get more money, to get more indoctrinated.
Exactly.
Oh, the more wealth, the better off we are. The more wealth, the more indoctrinated, the more poisoned. The more money you got, the more you spending on food, the more poison you are. The higher education you get, the more they poison your mind with lies. This whole entire system was created for them to harness your energy, and you hand it to them. And I'll give you an example. When you actually have an idea on a neurological level, there is a spark of light that actually takes place within the neurons. And this is the reason why the cartoons predict a light bulb going off or a light switch actually, flashing on the screen, because that's actually what's taking place within your brain. So how do you take a literal spark of light and then put an insulator behind it, also known as money, and you use that, the middleman, to actually give away, like it's like you're giving away your spark of light in exchange for a fake piece of paper? If you're an electromagnetic being, accepting an insulator in return, doesn't that stifle your auric field even more? Not only does it affect your brain, your perception, the illusion that comes with it, but on a physical level, you coming in contact with that material is doing what for you?
Exactly. And we don't understand that if you were to look into our genetic makeup and how the state that it's in right now, our bodies are not even supposed to be this color. The reason why our integumentaries are these colors because it's rusty. You know what I'm saying? They've been extracting the electricity away from us. So we have a low conductivity process going on right now. So when you look at a tree and you look at the leaf, and when it falls off and it starts getting brown, it's losing that nitrogen and phosphorus. Yes. So the production of neuromelanin has slowed down within us. Y'all don't understand, bro.
Right, we're not.
So
yeah, my bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not thinking critically. That's all I was the cherry on top to what he said. We think we're too caught up in the program and looking at it physically. Like, we're looking at the illusion. We're losing sight of what we actually came here to do. Everything manifests spiritually first before physical. So in order for us to see the shift on a collective level, we would have to each make the internal shift. We're not doing that.
Exactly. Because we say we cosmic beings, but we're on a cosmic planet. And there's cosmic animals, biogenic animals around us. And what are they doing? What are they doing for their family? They passing down information. What are we passing down? We're passing down eukaryotic information. We're passing down his story. When we should be passing down our genetics. You feel what I'm saying? So, are black people, so-called black people, are we having an identity crisis? Do we know who we really are? You see what I'm saying? That's what the main topic is. Because that's the main thing our people is arguing about on this app. On this eukaryotic app. This app isn't even ours. You see what I'm saying? We wake up, go work for him, and then go on his app to argue about him. What are we doing? We're just living in trauma. We're celebrating trauma. We're believing in the clock and the calendar that he built, not knowing that we never used to go by years. We never used to count our living stature by years. We used to always count it by breaths, how many breaths you take. And depending on how you breathe is how long you live. Everything has to do with the breath. That's why she was saying in the other life, it's about your meridians. Mm-hmm. The flow of energy. The flow of energy is literally in your breath. That universe is not just in space. You're breathing her in right now. To have air in your lungs. To have that life in your lungs. When you drink that water and you feel that life, that's her. That's free electrons. You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand that our body undergoes black body radiation. We absorb the whole light spectrum. So why would we brand ourselves with any of these names? And we never spoke. We never used our mouth to speak. We used our mouth to make frequency, but never speak, if you know what I'm trying to say. So we need more of our people in here, because I'm trying to...
This is our third account, y'all. This is our third account tonight. I was on my main, got snatched off within like 10, 15 minutes. We got live on the backup. They snatched us off in 10 minutes. This is our third account. So, like, if you ain't here, share it. Let them know that we live on this account. You know what I'm saying? I'm really asking my people, like, are we having an identity crisis subscribing to these titles, man? What is being Indian? What is you knowing your genealogy actually do for our people, bro?
Yeah.
What is you saying, oh, my granny this and my grandfather did? What does that actually do for the state of our people today, right now? Yeah. If their system is shutting down, what sense does it make for you to keep giving more energy to it, bro?
For real.
Why can't we actually come together and not give energy to their system? How hard is that? All they did was separate us and divide us. And that's what is the so-called conquering, that it's a stronghold on our own people just by us being separate from each other. So the title is to cause more separation. We all stem from the same embryological origin. So if you can't actually have a discussion about genetics, you shouldn't be saying that another so-called brother or sister isn't the same as you. That's like the dumbest rhetoric I ever heard, man. And it's not our way of thinking. So I know it didn't come from us naturally, right? But we sitting here going live, 47-year-old woman, so-called black woman, is live about braids, bro. Well, y'all didn't even create them braids, we did. Y'all the same people, bro. So if you got records that she created the braids over there and you created the braids over here, and y'all both share biology to both landmasses, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean then? If you understood our genetics and how we're the literal replication of each other through genetics, X chromosome ruling throughout the entire anatomy, grandmother, mother to daughter, why would you go live about that? Because you don't understand genetics. You don't understand how that's your literal reflection, how that's the same person as you, just another angle and reflection of light. You don't study stars. You don't study planets. You talking about motherland this, motherland that. You can't give me 10 facts about the land. That's a problem, bro.
Literally.
Oh, I'm really from the motherland. I'm really from the motherland. You're not from the motherland. I'm from the motherland. All the land is the motherland. All the land is connected to each other by water, bro. And if we all share biology with the water and the water touches the land, oh my gosh.
Literally.
It's not that hard. It's actually not rocket scientists. The program, the illusion, the middleman that's right in front of you, having to the lie, bro. Like, what the hell? If, like, I don't understand how we're letting this shit get the best of us, bro.
Literally.
I don't get it.
And when you study our woman's womb, everything is connected by water. All your organs is connected by water. So when we see all this water, how can we separate that? They only made those lines on paper.
Facts.
They didn't make those lines in real life.
Like, about it, okay? If there's maps from the so-called 1400s, and these are the same people creating the maps today, and they're different, that means that these niggas is lying. Are we not understanding that shit, bro? Like, if he created the maps then, and he's creating the maps now, and they're different, oh my gosh, that's a lie, right? That means that something isn't right. That means that something is off here. How is you coming in here telling me that? You arguing a map and not the land. What the hell?
And when you study your DNA, it shows you that your ancestors have been passing genetics for over 14 billion years.
Yeah, I don't...
Past those maps, past any maps that's ever been drawn. You see what I'm saying? And everything that they've been passing on is all their emotions. They've been passing on all the logical changes that's been happening with the planet is in your DNA, is in your subconscious, in your Akashic records, made up of ether particles, electrons, protons, and solitons. It's all in there. So you gotta sit with yourself and really understand what's inside of you. It's not Indian, it's not none of these names. This is what's holding us back. And us not knowing who we are is slowing down the species growth and development. That's what's happening.
Facts.
So we need our brothers and mothers of life who believe in these titles, because we know y'all do. We know y'all not really stepping, because there will be more of a shift happening right now. So if y'all saying that y'all American, if y'all saying y'all African, I want you to request up and let's have a civil discussion. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. Somebody said
We're simply American.
we're simply American. Okay, can you? Okay, what is
We're
it?
so who created the title?
Yes, welcome in, Popina.
Hey, show, what's going on?
Okay.
Who
So
created
can
the
you?
title? You can
Yeah,
hear
who
me?
created it?
Am I low? You can hear me clearly? My fault. Hold on.
We can't really hear you, brother. Go ahead.
Hold on, I just turned my Wi-Fi on. Is this better?
Yeah, go ahead. Explain who made the title.
So who created America, the term America?
You're saying that we're simply American. We're asking, are we having an identity crisis by subscribing to titles that were created by the opposite species?
Right.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that?
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
I agree with that, yes.
Okay, so in the comments you're saying we are simply American. So have you changed your answer or what? We're confused.
No, that's what we are. We define what American is. We always defined America. That's why they put black or African in front of it to displace us.
Okay.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
no,
Can
wait a
can
minute.
can you explain to us? This is what we're gonna say. Can you explain to us who made up that term American? Because so-called black people, our original language is thought transmissions of light particles through telepathy, through mental and electromagnetic energy. You see what I'm saying? That's why when we look at each other, we send photoreceptors of light to each other to communicate what we want to do. So the word American is an English language, and we never spoke. So who made up that word? Can you explain that to us? Because that was given to us,
Right.
just like a
So
lion, just like a lion in nature. That name was given to them. An elephant in nature, that name was given to them. They don't subscribe with those titles. So can you tell us? Go ahead.
sure. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the word America, and I also agree with you. You're right about the telepathy part because a lot of us, sometimes we could say something without saying something. You know what I mean, right? But
Right.
also, we got to keep in mind that we was also traders too. We also trained the world and taught the world a lot of the things that the world knows, right? So when I say that
Okay.
to say this,
So
we had. No, I got you. Hold on. You asked me a series of questions. I just want
go
to make
ahead.
sure I
Go ahead.
answer at least a few of them before we go on to the
I
next
got you.
topic.
I got you. You took a
Um,
big pause there. So go ahead.
No, I was getting my thoughts together. So my fault. So yes. So when it comes down to like, the names that was given to us, yes, there were plenty of names that was given to us, but one name that we did stick on for many, many, many years or many centuries or decades, however you want to slice it, was the term American, right? And me personally, I think the A was added because when you ask a lot of people, a lot of Southern people, they don't say American, they say I'm American, like for America, right? So and also, when you say that English is not the language, there's a clear distinction between, they got British English and American English. Our English is a lot different than what anybody else's English is. Better yet, the first dictionary that was created in America was by Noah Webster, and he said these are the languages or the words that the native people of the land use. So when I say that we are the original American, that's the definition of an American, right? If during time of segregation we was called color people, but then you look at the definition of American, it applies to the copper colored races. all they did was drop the color. All they did was drop the copper and call us colored folk, right? And then over time, they broke it down so we won't be attached to who we are on this land. Throughout all the research that I did, we were the people, the custodians of the land, right? We owned most of the land. We had a whole lot of land rights, deeds, and patents. Like even in like the 19, I think it was either 1916 or 1917, um, a lot of us protested from all through the southeast, saying that we had over. I may be getting the numbers jammed up. Don't correct me. I mean, don't judge me or hold anything against me. I think it's 250,000 acres of farmland, and then 20 million acres of land. And we were protesting based off of things that was happening to us. But that one particular
Okay.
poster stood out to me,
Okay,
and that made me. Now I got you.
brother.
After this, I'm
Because
done.
no, no,
After this,
hold
I'm
on,
right
hold
here.
on. No, you did
After
get
this
me.
part,
I got you. Hold on. Because I asked you, what is American? What is being American? What does American mean? And you were just telling me about how we were in a party and from 1619 to 1719 to 1819, all these years that y'all want to talk about is documented in their history. It's all talking about how they went all in all the coastlines of all continents and gave us religion and diseases. This is why if you look at all of our red blood cells of all black people across the planet, we have different antigens from all the people that raped us because and enslaved us, the Arabs, and then the white people did it. So all these people, all these races I just named have a combination of different animals within their genetics. And that's causing a mutation to happen under the sun because the sun is trying to make them live on the planet, but it's seeing too many genetics talking through one nucleus, so the nucleus is being removed. So again, these people are unnatural to the planet. So what I'm trying to say is that before I get too lost here, you were trying to say all of these things that was happening through trauma. So again, if you look at all of our red blood cells, we have antigens, and these
I didn't speak on
antigens.
trauma. I spoke on success. I said, if you
You
seen when we
saying
protested, I said one of the signs
okay
that we
because
had 250,000.
while these protests, hold on, I didn't cut you off like that though. While these protests was going on, our children was going missing and they were experimenting on our women at a high rate. And at this time, around 509 million of us dropped unalive. This is what I was getting ready to say before I went into their genetics. About 509 million of us was dropping unalive due to red
I
blood
don't.
cell
I
hemolysis.
can't
And
subscribe to that.
hold
I
on.
can't.
You can't hold on. You can't subscribe to them raping us and having antigens. They literally
I
doing it
can't.
right now.
So what's the
Hold
Rogaine? So
on,
what's the Rogaine
bro.
shot?
I didn't cut you. See, now you're having cognitive dissonance. Just let me speak. Just like I let you speak for that whole time. Just let me speak. So 509 million of us in their
What you're
so-called
saying is
history.
impossible.
Oh
If the
my
Rogaine shot
gosh.
exists,
Oh my. Look at this guy.
if
It's
the
because you're
Rogaine shot
eating the
exists, how
eukaryotic
is that
cell.
Bro,
possible?
let him speak.
I had to take them off, bro.
Yeah,
The people
like
who eating
it's
the eukaryotic
okay.
cell, their frontal lobe is damaged. They don't even have a personality to see their reflection and allow them to speak. So again, they can't see what's passed in front of them. So obviously, a lot of our people are chemically imbalanced. But what I'm trying to say is that that's what's going on. Why our people is chemically imbalanced is because we're eating these people. These people are spliced with cow, pig, fruit fly, chicken, and we're eating these animals in burgers. We're eating human remains. We're eating the parasites. So when our cells through the ionic channels is trying to release nutrients, their parasites, the antigens steal the nutrients, making us have red blood cell hemolysis, weakening the red blood cells. So they start unaliving off more than they're reproducing. They gave us zoonotic disease. 509 of our women dropped unalived. They were injecting our women with monkey semen. You don't understand what was going on the planet? It's because of our genetics. Racism is about genetics. And you wasn't understanding that. You was just trying to argue. And the reason why I said that you were talking about our fake success or our fake luxury, because that success that you're talking about got us to where we are today. It got us to having 8 million children going missing today. So that's not really success. That was after our people were indoctrinated mentally and physically with the religion and the graping that took on with our people, bro. Come on, bro. You're a brother. You're the son of life. You feel what I'm saying? And you're over here not even acknowledging what I'm saying about the children. You're not even acknowledging how I'm saying the first language is telepathy. So why are you subscribing to the American language? Why are you subscribing to any language? I just told you they came to the coastlines of all the continents. They didn't do this alone. They had extraterrestrial help. They're not natural to the planet. They needed an organism that's natural to the planet to help navigate them. We're not the only intelligent life forms on the planet. You don't understand what's going on. There's different organisms, intelligent life forms that don't look like any of us that live here. So y'all don't understand what's going on. They help to get where they are. They couldn't even build fires. Now they're making movies about sci-fi movies and making spaceships movies, and they're talking about spaceships now. They got all it. How did you get that? You see what I'm saying? So people are not understanding, how did these different animals come together to make one organism? And why is he now telling you that you're all these names? Why is he trying to separate all your people? Why is he trying to separate trees from trees? Why is he trying to separate water from water? Why is he trying to separate sun from sun, star from star, mother and son? Why is he trying to do that? Y'all not understanding, bro.
I'm trying to figure out, why are we allowing it?
Exactly.
That's what I'm
What?
telling you, and I'm not saying this to pick like the so-called elders in our community, man. We need y'all to wake up and smell the tea. It's a lot of y'all. When we ask y'all questions, y'all can't articulate. That means that you're not passing anything to the next generation. We sitting here talking about some all skin folk and kinfolk. We need science. We need genetics. We need biology, bro.
For real.
We can't keep being like talking to each other like this, not even really being able to articulate. This is feeling and emotional based.
Exactly.
Like, to say that somebody that shares the same base phenotype as you is not you because they sold us. Do you know how many of us actually had a hand in so-called slavery? So-called slavery? We ask a question all the time. What type of currency was being used for that? What type of money or what medium or tender was being used for that at that time? They already had possession of the gold. They already had possession of all the resources that are here. You think they just came for us first? No. They were so-called mining for gold in 1850 and over here in Cali. The gold rush was taking place over there while their counterparts was over in present day Angola snatching gold. The French was over there snatching gold. The same people was over there snatching gold while these niggas was mining for it. But how come when you look up the gold rush, if you look up the gold rush right now, it's synonymous with that same type of research to see alchemy. And this is what practical alchemy is actually talking about. It's how they were manipulating base metals to so-called further the illusion, bro. A lot of this stuff we know that we think is gold, or we think are diamonds, or we think are these different metals, these minerals, right, are not even the real thing. And we out here unaliving each other over fake shit. All of it is just to put a barrier in between you understanding your reflection, bro. Y'all sitting here falling for the program.
Chasing the money.
Chasing
while
the money.
The people that's making the money, the so-called higher ups with the money, the BlackRock, the royal family, whatever you want to call it, they're using the money to buy your organs. They're monopolizing our organs, and we want to chase that. None of our faces are on the coins. None of our faces is on the bills, but we chasing that.
Facts.
It don't make sense. So I really want to talk to our people, because I know our people are believing in these titles.
Yeah, I
We
need
see all
some
the
of
mores
the
on here on the app.
I need some of the people that's down in the comments to actually come up. Somebody said we are the Israelites, period. Science ain't helping either. What the fuck does a title have to do with genetics, brother?
Exactly.
What is, besides the title, who are you really? If race and ethnicity is not biological, then how are you the title? How are you actually an Israelite? You came from your mother first. The title came last.
Exactly.
So the discussion that we're having here is you are your biology. Why are we subscribing to the titles? The fact that we are is the identity crisis. Let's get that clear. You
Yep.
talking about science not helping. Science has been the answer ever since. We were the first scientists, the first metallurgists, the first chemists. What do you mean? We taught them everything that they know. And then they took it and manipulated it and sold it back to us. Y'all rather be Israelites than understand that you're composed of the same thing as a star. That's what I said. They don't take the spiritual community serious because you can't articulate how you're actually a star. You can't break down neuromelanin. People say, oh, deoxyetheric acid can't be proven. Then what is neuromelanin? It's the only biochemical substance that can condense sunlight, and it's also condensed sunlight in itself. It's composed of the interstellar gases and the nanodiamonds. That is the deoxyetheric acid.
And
It is ether.
Yeah, and
It's ubiquitous.
ether is real. It's sound. It's the
Yeah.
first element. The first element is ether, which is sound.
Yeah, AETHER. That's how the scientists spell ether. They just put an A in front of it.
Yep, and that's how the light travels through them wavelengths. You see what I'm saying? And through cymatics, the organism that can absorb the most light is the most intelligent. And that's why our bodies are made to capture the most light from every solar prominence that comes from outer space. This is what our body is made for. Biology means the study of life. So why would we not study why would we not study life, but we just want to subscribe to a name that tells us a fake story? You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
Somebody said America is the
So
motherland, not Africa. Do y'all understand that Africa and so-called America are connected to each other by water? Water is the only thing that's separating the land masses, and the water is also here through biogenesis, just like the land. How
yeah,
is one part? I'm trying to understand y'all, man. When you
yeah,
say motherland, are you saying that the rest of the land is fake? What are y'all saying? What are y'all
exactly.
saying?
And the water is older than the planet. The liquid is older than the physical matter. If you study solids, liquids, and gases, you know that liquids come before the matter. The earth came from the water. I hope y'all know that. This is how the
Yeah.
creation story happens inside the womb. So if all the land masses were birthed by the water and they're all connected by the water, why are we arguing about land masses and which land mass is the motherland? Why are we
Man.
arguing about our genetics when we don't even know how our body works, but we use our bodies 100% of the time? But our integumentary system throughout the entire planet biosynthesizes the sun, the electromagnetic wavelengths from the sun. We do that. And everybody outside of so-called black people does not do that. They get acute body radiation or they get photocarcinogenesis. So, which is a developmental of cancer cells when hit with radiation. That's what's happening with them. They're undergoing chromosomal deletions. Why is that not happening with all of our brothers and sisters throughout the entire planet? Because we're biosynthesizing the sun. We're supposed to naturally be here. You see what I'm saying? And we're not understanding that as a collective, we need to be on the same wavelength of who we are. Because if we're not, then our children will still be in the hands of these people. So I just want to know, all these people who saying this, we're the Native American. Why y'all not requesting up?
Yeah,
Why you not trying
y'all
to share
not
this to the
tapping in and
people?
sharing the live though?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, you know,
Why you
3
not?
accounts, bro. They don't really want us talking about this. We was
Exactly.
literally switching the app to let people come up, and they snatched me down, bro. This is our 3rd account. So the thing is, if they don't want us talking about that, we should be in here talking about it. I don't know how we not in here talking about that. Y'all, that's how I know Y'all want to subscribe to the program, bro. I'm
Exactly.
guessing hell feel good as fuck to y'all.
Yeah, y'all like
Poison
it here.
tastes good as hell. You love the title. Like, and I know that account that's saying America is the motherland, I know specifically who that is. And we've been telling that person for 1.5 years, bro, about their genetics. So I would like for y'all to explain to me the genetic and the biological difference between us and so-called Africans, bro.
Exactly.
Out of
'Cause
everybody, out of all of our people, all over the globe, y'all, all over the globe, all over the globe. You mean to tell me that the only group of so-called people that are responsible for selling each other out is so-called Africans? Bro, do you know how many people classified us?
exactly.
So how do you know that you have no I just, like I say, it's ineffable to explain, bro. It truly is, because it's right there in our face. I'm not understanding. Go ahead, Abuski.
Abundance.
Abundance.
Go ahead, brother.
Abundance, my bad. I'm trying to figure out how to work this shit. I don't be on TikTok for real. But I ain't got much to really say. I just wanted to chime in because I hear how y'all are encouraging and challenging folks to come and explain themselves. And honestly, I feel like people ain't gonna do that just naturally because it's something that you can't argue. So basically, I just want to come in and support y'all points because y'all break it down in a beautiful way with our vernacular, the verbiage, the words, and y'all make it make too much motherfucking sense. Cause it's very simple. You can't separate. Just like we could joke about motherfuckers. We could catch a comedian joke about these other races and how they all look so much alike. Whether it's these ones or what race, ethnicity, whatever. It don't. They not us. We could talk about them and break them down and joke about how they don't look different. They sound the same. They all act the same. But when it comes to us, it's like this big separation due to a lot of egotistical things that people be going through, a lot of trauma that people don't know how to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot more of the factors that I know y'all know what I'm kind of leaning towards. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of whack to me because I feel like, nigga, how can you separate the other side of the planet from you? If you go over there, it's far than a bitch, and you can find your twin. No, like in real life, a motherfucker that talk, act, dance, and do a whole lot, just like you. But you different. You different. Come on, bro. But anyway, I ain't got too much to say. That's all I really wanted to go ahead and pipe off of my chest because I felt I felt inspired to say something, especially when y'all was like, people are comfortable sitting in this hell. Who the fuck comfortable sitting in this stupid ass shit? I don't know, except for the people y'all talking about and that we obviously see not aligning with common sense. True, real deal, common sense. But I'm done.
I know it's like an echo.
He probably has to swipe down on the screen, like if you checking your notifications and pull it back up. Yeah. Abundance and gratitude for that. You know what I'm saying? For number one, the support, and for your frequency for saying that. Of course, they're not gonna come up here and say that because, like you said, is you can't argue it because our people aren't exploring science, so they don't. They're not even mentally equipped to even have this conversation.
So what we need more brothers and sisters to start reading, to start structuring what they're seeing so they can understand and navigate on the planet better and then pass on this light, because we got to be reminders. You see, the sun is a reminder of who we are supposed to be and what we're supposed to be. The earth is a reminder of who we are and what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to be. All the natural organisms, how they take care of each other, that's a reflection of how we're supposed to be for each other. So we need to get back into the natural rhythm of ourselves and be the examples. We can't focus too much on they're not seeing it or they never gonna see it. Nah, because the children are coming out wanting to learn. The children are coming out wanting information. One thing about the soul is it wants to know, it wants light, it wants information. So abundance for you for sharing that. You see what I'm saying? And I would just advise my people to do that. Start learning about neurology, everything, science. So I don't want to hold up the other brother too long. Go ahead, County TV. Can you?
Hey, yeah, let me read the prompt.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell
Are
us about
black,
the prompt.
huh?
Yeah, I said go ahead and tell us about the prompt. Are so-called black people having an identity crisis all over the planet?
All over the planet. Oh wow, I thought you were gonna say here. No, I mean, no. I think everybody on the planet. Remember, they said the first person, and in the world, like the first person on this planet started in Africa. So I think everybody on the planet, civilization and humanity trace back to Africa, right? So everybody is African, including white folks.
Yeah,
Everybody's African. Everybody. I mean, scientifically speaking, everybody is African. So it
So
just
how?
depends on where you're at.
I got you. So how does science and African correlate? Can you tell me what is the genetics? What is the scientific genetics of an African? Because African is just a title, and you saying white people are African and we're African,
Yeah,
but
yeah, everybody
our DNA, our genotype
are
is
different.
is different, and we can clearly see that by our phenotype and our behavior. So
Absolutely.
how can we all be African and all be from one place when our phenotype is different and we have two different embryological origins and we have two different cellular types functioning our entire body right now?
No, I know
So
what you're
we
saying.
have two different melanin classifications as well. So I just wanted to know.
How can I explain that? Okay, so because like they said, like even like they said, so they're saying like Asians, like pretty much the way I'm going through it or the way I'm explaining it is from where humanity started from. Now, as far as like the genotypes, because Indians are considered Indians, they're not considered Africans because they have a different genotype than Africans, and Asians have a different genotype than Africans, and Hispanics or Spaniards have a different genotype than Africans. You're absolutely correct in that aspect. But as far as where, like I said, humanity, where did the first human come from? And that has been scientifically proven was in Africa. So in
No,
all
okay, I don't
actuality,
think you're understanding
that's
that.
true though. I understand what you're saying in reference to
Okay,
like different
are
types
you
of
done
people.
speaking? Because I'm gonna let you speak, and then after you're done
Okay.
speaking, I'm just gonna go. But if
Okay.
you're gonna continue going, then you can go ahead. Okay,
Well, go ahead.
you done? Oh, okay. So you was just saying that we are all African, and I was explaining phenotype. And if your phenotype is determined by your genotype, and our genotype is neuromelanin, is hydrogen, carbon, helium, oxygen, and nitrogen. If you look at everybody else's nucleotides that make up their DNA, it has different pheomelanin structures, sulfur and ammonia and nitrogen oxide from different animals that cannot naturally reproduce with each other, that was fused together through electroporation within the cell, and they opened it through synthetic calcium ionophores to put a nucleus in there for all different genetics to communicate with each other. So they have a different cell type than us because our cells cannot be spliced into. It's coated in neuromelanin, condensed sunlight, and that is what is used to cut into cells. And once our cells is cut, it absorbs the light like miniature black holes. So they can clearly see a distinction there of different functions of cellular types. So so-called black people, we are not these titles. African is just a title. You see, we got all of these titles on the screen. It was created by the eukaryotic oppressor and the creators that created them. So you might not understand what I'm saying. You might not. Oh, what's going on?
Can I chime in?
You could. I would chime in, but I was talking.
Say that once.
Did you have something very important to say?
Yeah, I wanted to touch in kind of on both of y'all points in a way, because it's like
But I wasn't done with my point.
my fault. Go ahead.
How did you know I was done?
I didn't.
He's echoing.
Yeah, it's just his echo. I don't think he was trying to speak.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but what I was trying to say is that so-called black people, our DNA is neuromelanin. It has a different biochemical substance driving the body. So neuromelanin doesn't produce pheomelanin because it's condensed sunlight, and pheomelanin and eumelanin is animal melanin. So we have two different cellular types and two different phenotypes, which is what we can see. You see what I'm saying? Our ether, our hair goes towards the sun because of the Mercury disk pulling the energy from the megahertz frequency of the cosmos. That's what's happening. Their hair falls down like a dog because they don't have magnetism inside of their body, because I just told you earlier, they were made through electroporation with synthetic calcium ionospores.
No,
So
I
that's
understand where you're coming from a
so
scientific
hold on.
standpoint.
Yeah, it's you're not. I wasn't doing that when you was talking. I told you if you was continuing to talk, go ahead and then let me go. You feel me? You're just trying to cut me off now because what you were saying wasn't making sense, and you were
Oh, it
trying
makes
to.
perfect sense. I'll wait. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You see how you're cutting me off again? Because you're eating the meat and you're still eating sugars that's sending shocks to your brain. So when you actually hear the truth, it actually triggers your body because you have all of these parasites thinking for you. So I would say just relax, my brother, and just let me explain what I got to say so you can understand what I'm saying in its totality, because this is a large topic. You feel me? So again, so-called black people are having an identity crisis because we never spoke a language. That's what I don't understand. All of these languages came from a eukaryotic cell. It doesn't matter if it was Arab, it doesn't matter if it was white, Asian. They all created these languages for us to be further divided from each other because we spoke through thought transmission or light waves of electromagnetic particles through magnetic force, mental force. When we looked at each other, when we were around each other, we have an auric field that's made up of solitons, protons, and electrons that bond with each other magnetically. So this is how we spoke to each other. None of these languages create audible friction to manifest anything. This is why somebody else is using our energy right now to manifest their reality on our planet. So again, I just want to know, what is the biological and genetic explanation on how white people and everybody that came through spontaneous generation, Asians, everybody that's so-called not black, how did they get here, and why are we still subscribing to their titles? That's all I want to know.
But you're saying that we're going off of genetics. We have to.
Wait, hold on.
People
Mommy,
are.
Literally,
she's speaking. She spoke up.
I promise I'll let y'all go.
Yeah, she
but
gonna let
I'm
y'all
just
go.
trying to simplify it, because if you're not familiar with the terminology or the verbiage that's being discussed, then I would just look up the words. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't try to continue to push a narrative that doesn't align with what's being discussed in here, because you requested up and we're talking about genetics. You're saying that you're talking about places of origin. Okay, the base word of genetics is gene, which means origin. So if you fully understand the topic that's being discussed in here, then you should be able to articulate and understand what we're saying. We're talking about your biology. Bio means life. Ology is study of. So it's like, if you haven't studied biology, genetics, this conversation is going to be hard for you to have, because we're not talking about ethnicities. We're not talking about titles. We're saying drop that because that shit is fake. Abuski wanted to say something,
Yeah, go ahead,
and then we'll
brother.
get back to County.
Yeah, I just wanted to give because I feel like this will help bro catch a little understanding as far as what y'all are, because he's trying to say that y'all speaking scientific, I guess, yeah, but more so the functionality of who we are. And another example I want to use is a tree. A tree, that is the label. That is African American, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the tree function is motherfucking self is who the tree really is. It ain't really got no definition. It creates the definition of the function of the energy for which it therefore carries. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now you talking facts, brother. Every organism. Oh, hold on, I got it. I'm used to when you talk about every natural organism on the planet follows their genetic code, their genome code, in order to function in reality. See, he left. He left on his own.
And you was up next.
And you was up next.
We just letting everybody speak one at a time because it's a detailed discussion.
Exactly.
It's not like everybody. If we're all talking at the same time, then we can't hear each other's thought process.
Exactly. So I
Um,
didn't. He left on his own, and all we were asking is, do we have an identity crisis? And this is with the information that we're passing on to children. Instead of taking accountability and saying, "Damn, I'm gonna go research. I'm gonna go research about that. I'm gonna go research about my body. I'm gonna go research about my species." He just left. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta be mindful about what's going on, bro, because this is what's holding us back. People not wanting to understand who they are. That's literally it.
I don't like whenever I'm talking to someone about something and they say something that I'm not saying, and then they be like, "Oh, I know." No, you don't, bro.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying, like, we really got to get to the point to where we're like, we stop being so comfortable with fucking lying to each other, bro. It's okay. I don't know everything about this topic. That's why I read every day. That's why I research. That's why I find out something new. That's why I expand my consciousness. Like, I'm okay with not knowing something because as soon as I find out, I know. Like, what the hell? So it's like, we're not talking about haplogroups. We're not talking about history. We're not talking about the titles. We're asking you to drop them. Because, like the brother just said, science is explaining how everything functions in nature, how everything functions throughout the quantum. So if you don't understand the functionality of something, you do not know it. You can't think that you're the history that he created. That's his story about you, and he don't even know you. He's struggling with being on the planet because his integumentary system can't biosynthesize the sun. You know what I'm saying? So why are we allowing somebody to police us that doesn't biologically align? Go ahead, Yunky.
Hey, now I just want to say I commend you both because, this is something that, um, most people assume that, people who are younger and that type of thing aren't interested. So I definitely commend both of you. I think that what you're doing is really, really necessary. And I do agree with your topic. I definitely agree. Um, but my issue, I guess, would be where where does the accountability start? Like, first you have to get people to admit that it's lacking. Which, when I look at the list that you have, I that's something that I've said a million times, really, over the years. Um, but if you first have to get the accountability, they have to first realize and recognize, and then where do you start? Because, okay, if we look at what goes on in the public school system, um, and then you also look at a lot of parents are single parents, so just getting that awareness to the ones that it needs to. Where would you suggest it start? Would you want to start in the school system? Do you feel like it should start at home with the parents? I mean, because it definitely does need to change. I agree with you there. I definitely agree.
So can I ask you a question? Because I seen your comment in the I seen your comment and you said, I agree. What's your solution? And I responded back to you. I said, what's your
Oh, I didn't see you
solution?
because the background is white, so I didn't see anybody respond. I couldn't see if somebody responded or not because
Yeah,
I can hardly see the comments.
I had responded back to you saying, if you agree, what is your solution?
Well, first and foremost, I think that once again we have to get the ones who are in charge of the guidance to understand where the position is and where it's it's having its most difficulty. I mean, this is a very crucial time, and to a certain extent, even the resources that we have around us, a lot of people just aren't aware. I am more of an herbalist anyway, so these are things that I've been talking to people about for quite some time, and even from an herbal perspective, and getting them to understand what's around them, um, instead of seeking out different types of, uh, you know, toxins, I guess, if you will. Um, it's something that I've encountered a challenge with for quite some time. Just getting people to understand the mechanisms that are in play that will damage your body's immune system. And I don't know. I look at talking to adults is one thing, but if it's going to change generationally, then we have to think about the next generation. That's how a lot of the programming, initiates. It doesn't start with that generation. They're literally working on the previous generation. When you talk to a lot of adults, they revert back to their childhood and things that they, have learned and that type of thing. So I feel like it's something that really you have to get them to first be aware, and that's something that I've always had a problem with. I've talked to people who are my mom's age, and I still have to educate them on different basic things that they weren't taught in school. They didn't seek out the knowledge for, because they're kind of caught up in the rhythm of whatever's trending, or whatever is popular at that time. So it's kind of like you gotta we gotta catch up the generations, and it's like you gotta go
I
for
have
it.
a question for you, Mother of Life. I have a question for you. Do you think that our children should be going to school?
Now that's a good one. I honestly don't, because I think
Okay.
that
Yeah. I was just saying that because you kept saying, where do we start? Where do we start? And then you kept going back to the school system. But we
right,
start
because
with,
that I'm looking
go
at
ahead.
that's where they are. So we have to get them aware enough to get away from that, to get away from all of the doctrines and all of the the keep up with the whatever that's going on.
Yeah, but after they go to school, they come back right to in our arms. They were birthed from our mother's wombs. All these children. So how come they're in the hands of animals, and why are they teaching them? So we need to take
I
accountability.
oh, I've
Okay,
said
go
that
ahead.
so exactly. I've said that so many times. It's like, how do you hold hands with your enemy and expect them to do
And we
everything
shouldn't
for
be in
you
their
the right
schools.
way?
We shouldn't be in
Like,
their schools. We can't go to them and say, hey, can you please do this? That's what we've been doing for the last 400 plus
right,
years.
and that's what I
So
just.
that wouldn't
Oh,
be the solution. That's what I'm saying. But when I
oh yeah,
asked
that's
you,
why I said.
1 second,
What,
sister, let me just say one thing to you. So when
go
we
ahead.
were talking about everything, we were giving you the solution, and we were giving our people the solution at the same time. We're just, when you hear something like this, you actually have to sit with it, because if you're hearing it for the first time and you're a byproduct of being indoctrinated, then quite literally you have to get on board. You have to stop eating meat. You have to realize that you're adding to your own oppression as well.
Yep.
That's what you share with
Right, and
us.
that's why I said I'm more of an
Yes,
herbalist.
yes.
Like
So
I
when you
don't,
were
I
asking
don't
what's
even
the
eat
what's the
meat. I don't eat
resolution,
meat at all.
the
She's
resolution
not
is,
done, Mother of
yeah.
Life.
When
Let
you
her.
were 1 second, I'm almost done, and then we'll get to the next sister that's up here. Thank you guys for being patient.
Mm.
If we keep, it's not about eating meat. I get that we're not eating meat. No fish, no flesh, nothing with eyeballs, a tongue, a brain, right? Alkalinity, because when we're alkaline, disease can't fester. This is science. That's what we're talking about.
Right,
If your body is too
right.
acidic, then you need to undo that with alkalinity. So it starts with knowledge of self. It's just that our people
Right,
mysticize that. We don't critically think about it. The change starts within you. We're connected through quantum entanglement. So when you shift, it shifts the next person, whether you think you see it or not. That's how what you do in your reality will at some point show, right? We
Yep.
have to really be about manifesting that. Right now, we're manifesting more wealth in their system. And that's exactly why we're
right.
getting our teeth knocked out. Our children are getting snatched, because that's what the system is for, abundance. And we'll get
Right.
back to you. Go ahead, Keys, S Keys one.
Oh, thank you. So I was looking at excuse me, this list that y'all had. So my father, who was born in 44, sister born in 32, another one that was born in the late 20s. And so their birth certificates all say Negroes. And one of the things that bothers me more than anything is that if people won't treat you right, they won't teach you who you are or who your people are. And we've been here. So I've traced back 7 generations and I'm still tracing back. Because now, after 7 generations of looking at pictures and all this other stuff, and I have to, as the, what do we call it? The census, now I have to go to the Library of Congress. One of the things that bothers me more than anything is that everybody wants to tell us who we are, but we won't believe our grandfathers, our fathers, our grandmothers. You let people who won't treat you right teach you. Makes me feel some kind of way. So I was thinking about my grandfather, my mother's father, who was born in 1874.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
go ahead. I thought you was done, Mother of Life. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I was just questioning what did they teach you? Who did they tell you was?
They didn't tell me anything because my father told me, he said, listen, we was indigenous. He said we was mulattoes. He said we was colored. So when people would say colored or Negro, he said I was colored before I was anything else. My
Okay.
father was so black. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't know. Go ahead. My fault. I thought my fault. Go ahead.
My father was so black he could have swam through turns and left a streak. You understand me? My father was born in 44. His older sister was born in 28. Now I knew my grandfather. I even knew my great grandfather. And so they knew the grandparents. We always been here. And so when people say, oh no, we came over on ships, all of us didn't come here on ships. If you watch these documentaries, there were 3 kind of people: Indians, Africans, black folks. Some of us always been here. I'm gonna give you an example. I have an identical twin sister, right? And I have a baby sister. We have the same mother, same father. We all sent off our DNA. All of our DNA are different. Now listen, how can my identical twin sister have different DNA than me? It's because it's for what do they call it? It's
Answer.
for entertainment purposes only. So I have an identical twin sister. We both have 2 different lineages. Like we got 2 different damn daddies. And then my baby sister, who's got same mother, same father, hers was different than ours. So all 3 of us had different. Now if they had to say, oh, my little sister's her stuff was different, I'd be like, oh shit, we better make sure she got the same daddy. But a sister that's an identical twin, we say we share the same. We ain't but 4 minutes apart. And both of us have 2 different lineages. That shit is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, because breeding is for mixing purposes only. Antigens is for mixing purposes only. The titles, the racial titles, the ethnic groups, the haplogroups. Haplo means single group. How they've grouped us together is by the antigen. Blood types are determined by antigens.
And
So
I
when you're
agree.
talking about having 2 different lineages, when you send your DNA off and it comes back from all these different titles and 40% this and 40% that, those are this and 40% that, those are titles. So you have to actually understand what was the title created off of. What is the base premise of this ideology? And it's
And you know what?
describing the type of. So
And if
Yeah.
me and my
do
me
you
and my
understand
baby
what I
sister,
mean by mother? Do you
I do,
understand what? So
I
it's
do.
not it's not about different lineages. You have foreign substances, different foreign substances than your sister. You have
And I
different
agree.
foreign
I
substances in your
agree.
blood than your
If
father.
listen,
Okay,
if it's
hold
a
on.
foreign
She
substance
was.
between my
She,
baby
no,
sister, hold on.
okay, go ahead.
It's a foreign substance between me and my baby sister. I ain't even mad. But my identical twin sister, listen, if I left this earth, she could slip into my lifestyle. She could slip into who I was. You're telling me that me and my identical twin sister, that's 4 minutes apart, that share the sack, we have different lineages?
It's not that you have different lineages. This is what my other half was trying to explain to you while you was cutting her off. She was saying that our red blood cells, our blood, which transfer nutrients, this is the gateway or tunnel way our blood, because everything in our body gets processed by liquid. So our blood transfer all the nutrients that we breathe, eat, everything that gets absorbed through sexual sacred exchange. My fault. Type F1, but sacred exchange. So what we're saying is that when these people came to our land masses, we underwent a chemical warfare within ourselves because their semen is too acidic. So it left antigens on our red blood cells, and and these antigens are foreign substances, white proteins made, which are just animal proteins for them, which weaken our red blood cells and zoonotic disease and red blood cell hemolysis. So this is what took place with our women. This is what took place with our women through many continents. This is why Brazil, Australia, right now they don't have as many so-called black people as they had today because they were wiped out with these eukaryotic cells reproductive system alone. So right now, all of us throughout the whole planet, the reason why we're even
Hail Lord Yakub.
So
see,
here's
Hail Lord Yakub.
people with underdeveloped brains act that way. So let's stay focused on what we were saying for the development and growth of our children's brains. Let's stay focused. You feel what I'm saying? So all of the reason why all so-called black people are brown today is because we're rusty and we have antigens in our blood. Our pineal gland is not even the same size that it was no more. We're not even the same size that we was no more because of the interstellar gases that were on the planet, how the planet shifted 44.4 degrees, and that changed how the interstellar gases enter the planet. So we have antigens in our blood. That's all we're trying to tell you, and
you're saying, so
that's why
you're
your
saying,
sister, that's why your sister and your other sister came out with so-called different DNA, but y'all don't have this different DNA because
so I
our
get it with
cells
my
cannot
baby
be
sister.
spliced. Our cells cannot be spliced into. So no other external DNA can enter our DNA or genome code and disrupt it or alter it. Only the outside can be disrupted. So
So
that's
I hear what you're saying. As far as my baby sister, I do. My baby sister, even though we got the same mother, father, things can go ahead, right?
Well,
But
sister, can you explain to us in your own words of what we're actually saying so where we know?
oh, let me just say what I'm gonna say, and then because this brother man seemed like he done been through college and got some other stuff. So as far as my
I
I
don't. Okay.
I
as
didn't
far
go to
as my baby
college.
sister, hold on. As
Hold
far as
on.
my baby, as far as my baby sister, that may be different. That's my baby sister. But somebody I laid in the womb with, you saying we got different DNA?
No, I never said. I see.
That's why we asked you.
No, I'm
I
asking.
just
I'm
went through this whole
asking. I'm
explanation how you
asking.
do
Hold
not.
on. I'm
I,
asking because I'm trying to get an understanding.
and
I'm
I'm
not saying
answering,
what
mother
you're
of
saying.
life. I'm answering. You asking. I'm answering. So let me answer.
Yes.
I was just saying that we're not telling you that you have different DNA than your sister. We are all so-called black people throughout the entire globe have the same base genotype, which is neuromelanin. And the nucleotides to make that is nitrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen. We are hydrocarbon. Our body produces hydrocarbon for all biogenetic life to feed off of. So the reason why it came out different is because of antigens. These people, antigens is just an animal protein that these eukaryotic organisms possess. And the reason why they possess that is because they share DNA with different organisms that cannot naturally reproduce with each other. So their mother and father that were graping us, they had different genetics. You see what I'm saying? One parent can have 45% mice, 80% dog, and then the other parent has celery DNA, or 50% cow or 10% mice. And when they make a child, that's incomplete dominance. And when they do that, that's because they red blood cells don't match. So when they reproduce with a completely different species, which is us, they're adding those animal proteins that they produce unnaturally and have to undergo spliceosome for protein synthesis. They pass that on into our cells and weakens our cells. This is what I'm explaining to you.
All right. So
Not
anyway,
different from her. You just have antigens which make you different. And antigens is what makes up the blood type. We're not supposed to eat according to our blood type. We're not supposed to be going according to our blood type. We're supposed to be going under our genetic makeup.
so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say y'all above my above my. I'm a social worker. So
No,
is
you're
that
not.
so? Wait, hold on. So when you're saying this, and so for instance, I'm going on another direction. So when somebody is doing like, say like they want to do a bone marrow or whatever, their blood type has to be whatever you said it was, right? It has to be a different thing.
Are you talking about a bone marrow transplant?
When we're dealing with bone marrow, or we're dealing with any other
Bone marrow, how? We're just trying to understand in a transplant or what?
Yeah, you just said the word bone marrow.
transplant.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Like for instance, I have a twin sister. We identical, right?
Yeah.
Me and my sister, we are twins. So say like I have a kid that needs a transplant. That child may match half a 7 out of 10, but they need a 10 out of 10. Right? So so it's not gonna be me, it's not gonna be her. We need a 10 out of 10.
Right.
That's gonna be somebody else different, right?
Because of the presence of antigens.
Right.
Yeah,
Damn.
the blood that we're talking about, if you do a simple Google search right now, it's going to tell you that antigens is what determines the blood type. Antigens are foreign substances that are found in blood. If it is a foreign substance, it is not supposed to be there. So what the host was explaining is that through so-called slavery, through them procreating with us, this is what added the foreign substances into the blood. How we are grouped together by blood type, races, ethnic groups is what is going back to the antigen. It's describing something that shouldn't be there. So, and what you're saying in transplants, that those things have to match up based off of the antigens that are present within the blood.
May I ask what is what is it that you do for a living?
I don't work for this system. We read. That's what we were saying. We didn't go to college.
The reason I ask is this. I am very impressed. That's why I asked.
Okay, what we do for a living is obtain information and apply it for the betterment of our species. That's what we make sure we do every day. We make sure to.
When you say species, you mean us as black folk, as
so-called black people throughout the entire planet. Yes, that's what we do every day.
I sure do appreciate y'all. One of the things
That's
that I'm gonna say is this: I do feel some kind of way because, like I said, me and my sister we sent our things off and we came back different. Now, my father didn't have no outside kids. He had 3 children, and out of those 3 children, not no fake. We had to worry about who his kids are. 3 kids, and all 3 of us came back different. Now, me and my twin sister, identical. Identical as eyes, hair, whatever. We all came back different. And I feel some kind of way about that.
bro. Okay.
Yeah, it's
My
different.
sister,
And
and I'm going to tell you this, hold on. My sister was not able to provide my son with bone marrow. We had to go outside for his bone marrow. And so I felt some kind of way. Because you saying, well, hey, this is the thing. Listen, me and my twin sister, again, identical twins, same mother, same father. Our baby sister, same mother, same father. Nobody could give my son bone marrow. Nobody. And we were all
because of the presence of antigens, that's
Be,
what
be,
we're saying. That is the basis. Like, okay, you're talking about transplanting organs, cells. We're talking about the single cells that make up the organ that make up the organism. So we would have to look into biology. What we're saying is that y'all are not matches for each other because of the phenomenon of incomplete dominance. White people, Asians, Arabs, they are not the same amongst each other. The fact that they have procreated with us has that oh my gosh, it is now affecting the outside of our cell. This is what we were saying. It can't infiltrate the cell, but it can affect the outside of the cell. This is the presence of antigen. This is the presence of antigens that stick there and it's so-called what I call it cellular oppression. So that's why you're seeing that on a macro level is because there aren't different matches because they're multicellular. It's different genetic information from different places.
and
So y'all are not gonna have the same thing for that reason.
yeah, and I wanted to add because I really want you to understand this. The antigens are animal proteins, and these animal proteins, you can have over 100,000 antigens in your body. One of those antigens come from a cow. The other antigen comes from pig. And these are unnatural substances that got into our DNA from eating the meats that these people are spliced with, from sleeping with these people, voluntary and involuntary, for thousands of years. Now it's in our blood. It's flowing through our blood, and we've been spreading antigens with each other. We've been spreading poison with each other, and then not reading and not taking the initiative to understand who we are down to the molecular level. So now we're saying, oh, I don't like the way this is going. I feel some type of way about the transplant because we don't understand biology. You feel some type of way because you don't understand your genetics. And that's what's slowing down. I'm gonna be very truth and honest with you. That's what's slowing down the species. And you're supposed to know that. As an elder, as a mother of life, you're supposed to know who you are.
But let me ask you this. So you were saying
earlier. Hold on.
Right?
You were saying earlier.
How would I know this? How so?
I didn't go to school to learn about neuromelanin. I didn't go to school to learn about what I'm seeing outside. You see what I'm saying?
You may have been gifted.
No,
You may have been gifted.
You're not letting me finish. It's not about being gifted because we're all gifted. And if you understand what that gift is, it actually comes from you, the totipotent stem cell. That's what I am. You birthed me. And you over here asking me where I got that information. Every organism on this planet that is natural gets all of their information from their mother. You see what I'm saying? And you're supposed to be guiding the species with the information. You're the one who expands the universe. You are the universe. So you gotta know this. I didn't go to school. I didn't have to go to their animal university or school to learn this. I really wanted to understand who I was. I really wanted to understand my people. I didn't want to keep subscribing to titles. I didn't want to keep eating meat. I didn't want to keep being programmed. I didn't want to keep living in the system that was built off of our people G side. That's how I started to think. We got to start thinking like that. And this is how we have to see how people left when I started talking like that, because they don't really want to hold each other accountable. They still want to do the bullshit on the side and then say I'm spiritual. So I'm saying I'm for the people. But being for the people is taking care of your health, and taking care of your health is your mental health first. So you got to feed that with information. The one thing about the soul is that it wants to learn. So you're here to master your mind. That's what I'm saying to you. We didn't go to school. This is this is common sense. This is just this is the basis of who we are. This is neuromelanin. And I
And common sense is not common practice. And so then my thing is this: the people will be wiser but weaker, and so we have to learn. And so I don't have no problem from learning from y'all. I do not. Y'all got information, you provide that information, and you take us out of these old ways. I have no problem with that. So I have to do the best that I can do. So if you got information that shows me that my thinking is maladaptive, and you say, hey, I got new information, I'm going to teach you some things. I have no problem with you teaching me some things, right? So I may not know everything. I may not, but listen, I have no problem with learning things from y'all young ones. I have no problem with that because I don't know everything. And that's the reality of it. You may have, you may have new stuff. Because you know, when we old folks, we just old folks.
I
But
don't
you show me some things that are better. You show me some things that are better. You show me some things that I don't know how. I don't fight you on that. You show me that things are better. You show me things that I knew nothing about.
Mother, nobody
No
taught
choice.
us.
Oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
thing. We're telling you that we read books, right?
Yes, and I
Nobody
have no
taught us.
choice but to follow
We're
you,
not here to
baby.
teach the next person. You know what I'm saying? We're telling you, like when the other sister came up here, she said, "What's the solution?" And you actually requested up at that time when I was saying that. So I don't know if you heard it, because when you're coming up to the panel, it can. But the solution for that is to lock in with yourself. And I know it's cliche, we say that all the time, but we're saying it and nobody's doing it. That's why there's no change. They're studying your body too. You're not studying your body. It's common sense to study your body. It's not common to you right now because you're rugged up. You have antigens. There's parasites in your blood. You believe that you have to work in order to.
And that may be a thing.
You
But what
choose.
it is
Okay,
this. If you provide us with information,
You didn't even let it. I have to, because she was speaking and you couldn't. Like, this is why you're not understanding what we're saying. We're literally trying to tell you, and you cutting us off in the middle. Just let her finish. She was trying to tell you something, from mother of life to mother of life. Why can't you be receptive like an electron? Just listen.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We're not trying to be disrespectful, but we let each other speak. You know what I'm saying? Because that's respect, right? And that's the type of people that we are. So we have to get back to actually hearing each other out and listening fully so we can truly understand and overstand each other where we are. You asked us a question, we're just answering. The solution to our issue as a community is for us to start understanding our bodies from micro to macrocosm. Everybody else understands who we are except us. We were told that we needed to look at history. History is a lie. Science is staying the same. All we're saying is, what does your biology say? If you remove the title, what is science saying? That's what we're saying.
Yep.
Nobody taught us that information. It was a natural hunger that we had on our own. We seen that there was an issue within our community, and we seen how history wasn't serving us. Science is the answer because that's what stayed the same. That's what will stay the same. Your biology does not change.
They're literally stealing our children for science. So that should make us want to lock in. Like, you see what I'm saying? Just because they're not our immediate child, that's still our children. That's our species. We take care of each other. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I didn't want to, like, I want to get misconstrued, because I just wanted you to know that you have to put the individual work so we can have a better reality for the collective. That's all we're trying to say. And to do that, you have to understand and know thyself. And to know thyself is to know neuromelanin. That's your DNA. Every organism on the planet knows their DNA. That's why they move off their genetic code based on the environment. The reason why they're having trouble right now in environments is because of deforestation. We're allowing our children to be snatched. We're allowing the animals to be abused. This is our planet. You see what I'm saying? You see how like, you know how mentally broken we have to be as a species to go buy water, to go buy fruit in a Walmart in a controlled environment called a lab, that they push air to weaken our bones. So we are really mentally broken, and we think we have to earn a living when biology, the study of life, tells us that we are life. Life tells us that we are life itself. We are the mothers and fathers of life. So why would we subscribe to the system, and why would we subscribe to the titles that the creators of the system gave us when we have our own identity that flows continuously? It's not a name, it's a function, it's a vibration. That's our name. It keeps going, the universal song. That's who we are. That's who you are. So go ahead, Mother of Life.
So I think one of the things is this: we have to follow y'all. We just simply do, because we have some old ways. Make no mistake, we got some old ways, and so we have to simply follow y'all. They say y'all gonna be wiser but weaker. I don't believe weaker. I don't believe that. Y'all are not willing to do the things that we did. Y'all are not willing to be less than. And so we have to, if I don't, I don't. One of the things I'm going to tell you is this: we have to follow y'all because we different. Y'all different. And so y'all figuring it out. And so we just simply have to follow. I'm not saying that y'all the best, y'all everything, y'all have more than we did. But what I'm going to tell you is this: y'all don't take no stuff, no duff. Now, following y'all, not a problem. Y'all different from us. And I'm not mad. Y'all different. And it makes me feel some kind of proud. Because y'all not going to take no stuff, and y'all going to do what y'all going to do. And so all us old folks can do is follow behind y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, this should make y'all want to fight harder and lead us again, and be the pass the torch again. There's a reason why your bodies are more mature right now than ours. You just don't understand that. Y'all want to pass down genetics physically, but you don't want to pass down mentally and articulate yourselves. That's the problem. And now you're saying you need us. You don't need us. We
need you.
We need you.
We're a byproduct of you. Like, you understand that the system is harder. Let me finish. Remember, we respect. Let us just finish. You understand that the system is harder for us now than it was for you. You had it easier than we did. You understand that if their system is let's talk about, a lot of people like to talk about Babylon. Let's say if it's set for 250 years, we're at year 249. This is the worst that it would be. Year 237 was easier than year 249. So we're not understanding, you didn't have phones, so called, when you were a child. The children are struggling with a different level of indoctrination than you were. All these different snacks and shit that they have out now wouldn't have even been a thought back then. So with you saying that,
Go ahead. I was gonna say tap and share the live because I got a warning, and put F1s in the chat so that live can continue and she can keep sharing her message.
I'm just saying that it's worse for us now. So the fact that you're saying like we need you, like we don't need that type of thinking. We actually need help. Do you see the state of our people? So how could it just be on the youth? How could it just be on the younger generation and we're a byproduct of you? We're only here because of you. So we're laying down, we're having smecks, we're having children as a byproduct of having smecks. We don't even know how them reproductive organs work. And as a result, we're sitting here saying, oh, you do it. Absolutely not. That's not really showing how much you actually value your people for real. You're saying, oh, all this trauma, I'm gonna put it off on you. You deal with it. We can't do that. But abundance and gratitude for that. You can stay up here. I just wanted to introduce the next guest. Go ahead, Bloomberg.
Yeah, peace and love, peace and love.
Abundance. Go ahead, my brother. Do you think so-called black people are having an identity crisis?
Yeah, of course.
All right, can you explain that and go to further detail and how we can solve that?
Well, you gotta it's a lot of people thinking they're something they're not, or thinking they what they was thought they was, or calling themselves a part of the land that was named and stuff like that. And outside of that, as far as the communication on this topic, we gotta look. Well, I'm sure y'all know, but milk is very serious. Dairy is very serious, and that's something they make sure you got on your tongue. And once you learn what milk does to a baby, once they hit that baby tongue, and how it alters the taste buds and causes the child to be addicted to certain things, and it's been going on with us for years. When these things take place, that's like it takes time for us to come out of that, to get to ourselves. Cause remember, this is separating us from ourselves when we going through this form of diet from a child from in the womb. So when we think about certain elders and stuff like that, and people, it take a certain amount of time from the become aware. We can't be putting that pressure on them, like to be saying they should have this and should have that, because we all coming from the womb, and we all is different things. Remember, we are a race that's being attacked from in the womb, so we can't expect certain things from us at a high rate. We can expect it, but you also got to expect that we are inflicted and damaged. Like me, it took time for me to come to certain things to change my diet and stuff like that. Now I'm on that. I got time, a lot of time in, but it took time to get to that point for me going through stuff like that. And other people got to go through their stuff to get to a point where they can be effective in teaching this kind of stuff. But it's not that instant like that. How I might want it to be, how I see I want it to be. So I'm just saying, just knowing about milk alone and what that do to you from a child, and how it has you addicted to things that you don't even supposed to be liking. We gotta take it easy with people on how they coming out their situation to go into getting their knowledge. That's what I'm going to say.
Brother, what we're saying is that we're all indoctrinated, though.
That's what I'm saying. So we all
so there's nothing easy to go on. Why are we babying the fact that we're indoctrinated and poisoned in sleep? That's what we gotta move with, a sense of urgency behind that, though.
Oh yeah,
that's not nothing. When we're talking about trauma, what I'm asking my people to do is lock in and heal from the trauma instead of pass it to the next generation. Heal it right then and there. There's a lot of discussion amongst our people about healing. Do you know how long it took us to get there? Now that we're here, why are we playing with our healing? Why are we playing with growth? Why are we lacking discipline? So just like you're saying it took time for that, it took energy. It doesn't take time. It takes energy, consistent, persistent. We're mentally weak. That's nothing that we can play with and okay and baby.
Facts.
Quite literally, we have to nip it in the bud. That's why we're saying, remember the children. It starts with them because they're the next generation. So why aren't we passing to children? Quite literally, we looking at the elders, the elders, everybody that's an adult right now is indoctrinated. Very hard to get through to them. We want to see change while the child's brain is formulating in the imprint years. That's when you got to tell them. That's when you got to tell them you're a neuromelanated being.
You're not the body.
You're not the body. Your biology aligns with this planet. Let me explain to you how. You're made of interstellar gases and nanodiamonds. It's more than just oxygen that we're breathing in. Let's talk about argon light. It's about having a hunger. It's an all-encompassing amount of research that you have to do. It's not through history. It's not even just science. We was looking at, the hell was we looking at the other day and found a government website for genetics.
Genome.gov.
Genome.gov. I think we was looking at this, like the cellular function of a plant, and somehow ended up there. If you're doing unbiased research, you're naturally going down a rabbit hole. It's not, okay, I'm going to look at this. No, you have to be that type of person. You have to have that level of discipline. You have to already be searching for answers in life. How do I get closer to myself? How do I actually gain consciousness? We're not trying to do that. We're trying to give energy to the system. How can I get more money? How can I get a bigger house? How can I get a better car? You want more material things. That's what's keeping us here. You're passing materialism and vanity, poison, indoctrination to the next generation instead of actually trying to dismantle it. So I'm not doing the whole excuses. It's a lot of excuses. Go ahead, Southside. Go ahead.
The answer to your question on the prompt, I say, well, it's a 50-50 for me. Because I'm not one of them person that have an identity crisis. I know who I am, what I am.
Which is who?
All right, so who are you and what are you?
I'm a black man from America.
So what is a black man composed of? What is the genetic composition?
Look, man.
Now I'm trying to look at what you're saying. Go ahead.
What's your background? What's your background?
That's not what he's asking you, brother.
I said, what is the genetic composition, the biological composition of a black man in America? Can you tell me?
What you want me to say, African?
We're asking you about genetics. We're not talking about titles. That's why we're saying, are we having an identity crisis right now? We asking you your biology and you giving us titles. That's what we're saying the problem in our community is.
Okay, so you won't have to tell me about that because I don't know about that.
No, brother, you came in here, brother, and you said, I know who I am.
Yeah, I'm a black man. I'm a black man from America.
You are, right? And we already have on the board the different titles, right? And we seen when you came in here, so you heard enough to get the spill. We're not these titles that were created by so-called white people that were placed and forced on us. We're subscribing to being black. We're subscribing them to calling our mother America, Africa, Russia. Why are we allowing them to call our mothers these names? Why are we allowing them to call us these different titles when they have nothing to do with our biology?
Literally.
So it's 5 different classifications of melanin. If you don't know your biology, you wouldn't even be able to tell me. You just saying melanin. You know what I'm saying? That's what our people is doing. We have to start locking in on more facts and being more detailed. You told me who you were through their lens, their history, their narrative. You didn't tell me who you are on a biological level, which is who you actually are.
And what's that, ma'am?
You see how you just used all of your neurons to ask us that question? You could now use those neurons to generate your own idea of who you are. It should now spark a hunger within you to go research who you are. Take accountability that you didn't know who you are, who you were, and now go research, because the children deserve better information than that.
You are composed of interstellar gases and nanodiamonds. So interstellar gases: hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and helium. And helium. That's who you are on a quantum level. Your biology goes back to the totipotent stem cell carrier, which is the so-called black woman. Genetics is matrilineal, so because the X chromosome rules throughout the entire anatomy, whatever your mother is who you are. So your mother is neuromelanated. That's her genet. That's her
The genome code
yeah, facts. My bad.
that produces the protein and enzymes to create the molecules, then to create the tissues, then to create your organs, then to create the organism. The brain, the nervous system, it creates the body, it creates the bones, it creates the blood. The blood, the skeleton, the integumentary system that we call the skin, all of that is an extension of your nervous system. And that nervous system is driven by a biochemical substance, a self-sustaining, self-organizing substance that is bioluminescent, and it's called neuromelanin. And it was birthed in a molecular cloud or interstellar gases, like she was explaining. This is where we come from. We have cosmic origins. You see what I'm saying? We are before the planet. So when we say we're Black American, we're just subscribing to a title. You see what I'm saying? We need to subscribe to the function of our genetics. Everything in life, in biogenetic life that came through living matter, they all subscribe to their genetics. They all subscribe to their function or how their body reacts to the environment.
Yeah.
So we obviously see that this environment is not suitable for us, given that our children are going missing at an alarming rate. 8 million children, which is the least amount of children going missing. And 25 million of our children are going to their schools. And school, it just means skole, to hold back. So they're holding back the conductivity of neuromelanin within the brain so they can implement their animalistic programming to have us thinking we're animals, so we can eat them and sleep with them and live in society with them. So this is the problem that's going on within our species. And as a brother, we need to be stepping up. You see what I'm saying? We need to be enforcing universal law, which is life. That's what we enforce. And these people don't come from life. So why do they have our life in their hands? You see what I'm saying? Everybody worried about health, wealth, but we need to be worried about health. That's all I'm saying. So I would say you should go research, because what you think is gonna affect the species as a whole. The fact that you thought that you was a Black American, that was affecting all of us and as a whole.
That's holding us back. The titles is
Yeah.
holding us back because we're manifesting our reality through their lens.
No, I heard all this before from that one guy that called himself Pharaoh.
Okay, and what did you do with the information?
I didn't study it. I just heard. I just watched his clip and heard him talking about it.
Yeah, that's not actually okay, let me ask you this. When you heard that, how did it make you feel, or did you do anything with the information, or what?
Well, because I'm not educated on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to do my research and educate myself on that type of stuff.
Abundance and gratitude, you know what I'm saying, for admitting that you just got to do the research.
Yeah.
But young Pharaoh didn't go to school for that. Neither one of us that's sitting here went to school for it. We research. We do unbiased research. We read books. We watch documentaries. And we've been at this collectively, what is it, 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 10 years together. Like both of us, each in our own research put together, is like 10 years worth of research, all encompassing. It's not just science, right? So you got to have the hunger. That's what I was talking about initially. You got to actually want to see better for your people. That will require you to actually go deeper and look into who they are.
and you have to
Yeah.
change your
Well, you know
perspective.
what? I
And
did
you
have
gotta
a
change.
hunger for it
I'll try
back
to
in the
add one
day,
more thing, brother.
but
You
I
gotta
ain't got the
change.
hunger for no more.
You said what?
Yeah.
I had a hunger for it back in the day when I was hearing all this, but I ain't got the hunger no more.
Hey,
Why?
and the thing is, the fact
Cause
that you lost that
what's all
hunger,
they gonna do?
that means you forgot
All
what
that
you was fighting
is that
for.
power.
You heard what I said? That hunger that you lost, that means you forgot what you was fighting for. That hunger, the reason why you felt like that is because what was happening to our species. Our women are getting their organs snatched at their hospitals that we just comfortably allowing them to be in as the protector of the species. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you forgot that is because you see what I'm saying? You forgot what the fight was about. And that's the biochemical warfare that's been going on.
It's a
So
war for your DNA. If they're not doing what they're doing because you're black, it's about what the so-called black is composed of, right? So that's who we got to remember. Is they know us scientifically. We don't know ourselves scientifically. But go ahead to
and we'll,
Tashanga Ra.
yeah, and we'll get back to you, South.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. Then we'll go to Buddha after Tashanga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a first. This is a first for me. I haven't heard anybody speak on these things like this before. So I'm kind of, like a jigsaw puzzle, just putting the pieces together as I listen.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, go ahead and give us your thoughts on the
All right.
prompt and what you think so-called black people should be focusing on at this moment.
What do I think Black people should be focusing on?
I say,
That would
yeah.
be,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would be unity, basically.
Okay, so
In a nutshell, Black people should be focused on unity.
okay, so how do we achieve that unity? Because that's why I was asking, are so-called black people having an identity crisis? So that's why I was saying, can you give us the answer to that first, and then answer that?
Yes, Black people are having an identity crisis. It's been since those of us that are over here. I don't, I don't know if those of us that are still on the continent are having an identity crisis. I just believe that those of us that are over here are having an identity crisis.
All
So
right,
many.
so who are we? As so-called, who are we?
When you ask that question, you're going away from Black people.
No, we're asking you, who are we? Who do you believe that our people are? Like, who are we?
Yeah.
Oh well, I can tell you who I am
Go
All right,
ahead.
based
so who are
on
you? Can you tell us you? What is your genetic
yeah
composition?
my
Go ahead.
my ancestors are from different parts of Africa, scattered through Africa, and they came by way of Bahamas into America. So I'm an African in America.
So you saying you're an African and American because of but your ancestors aren't African though. That's what I want you to understand. Those were titles given to them. You see what I'm saying? When you look at the genetic composition of all of these ancestors that you're talking about, they have neuromelanin, a biochemical substance that is found throughout the entire universe. And it's also found in our women's totipotent stem cells, which they call ghost DNA. And there's a whole set of genes or genome codes from other black people that are not from this planet, and all so-called black women have it throughout the entire planet. This is why
So
they steal her genetics all day, every day. So what I'm trying to say is that we are not undergoing racism. We're not these names. We're none of these titles. These are all names classifying neuromelanin, which is condensed sunlight. So we should
uh,
be
let me
focused. Go ahead.
let me try that again because you asked me who am I, and I'm telling you just the factual data based on the geological map that we look at of where I am and where my ancestry takes me. So no matter what they call me, that's who I am. You understand what I mean? Like it's that those same people. That's who I am. That's where I come from. And I come from that land. So,
So the land come from you. Now what?
well, you gotta have to help me out with that.
No, that's what we just told your other brother. We need you got to do some research so you can help us and we can help each other, right? We got to start being able to articulate it. You're saying that you what you're trying to say is that you come from your you're saying you come from your ancestors. We're talking about genetics. Genetics is matrilineal. So, like I said, you are who your mother is because that is the totipotent. She's the carrier of the totipotent stem cell. That's your embryological origin, is that stem cell. So it goes from mother to grandmother to mother to daughter.
No, but even with that, it's the same thing. Both sides came through the Bahamas, through the slave ships from Africa.
Bahamas doesn't exist. America doesn't
The
exist.
ship is fake.
Like, I hope you know this, that
Okay,
America.
what is this?
No, I just want you to know,
No, you guys
understand.
like it.
No. Listen now.
No, you
Listen.
just said something. No, Bahamas. I just went to the Bahamas. What do you mean by that?
You went to a piece of Earth.
The
You went to a
title.
landmass of Earth.
We're talking about the title, bro.
Nothing on that landmass is saying Bahamas except the posted metal
The
plate that's on there
yeah.
saying that it's Bahamas, or the metal or the wooden plate that's saying it's Bahamas. The
No,
actual
I just
landmass itself. Hold on, the actual landmass itself it's alive. The planet is alive, and she doesn't resonate with titles, with names, with English, with any linguistics that exist today. So you didn't go to the Bahamas. You just went to a different part
Part
of
of
the
the
womb.
land.
A different
Yeah.
part of the womb. Earth is a womb. And it genetically and biologically matches with every so-called black woman's womb on this planet. So you went to a different part of her womb and experienced a different part of her womb. That's all you did. You didn't go to a different landmass because all the landmasses are connected by water. All your organs are connected by water. All your cells are connected by water. All stars are connected by water. Hydrocarbon molecular gases, which when drop in frequency or get more dense, they turn into water. They turn into liquids. So now we have to understand the function of what we're saying. You didn't go to the Bahamas. We're not in America. We're in Mother Earth. We're in her womb. This is how her womb looks. So I want us to really understand that we're not none of these titles. We are the function of the biochemical substance that works within us. We are the consciousness that speaks or listens or tells us what is truth, what is chaos, what is untruth within our vessels. That's who
okay.
we really are, and
All right, now so
that is neuromelanin.
all right. So now if I'm on the introductory section of the book, you're like on page like 100. And what I want to ask is, once I do do the research like the sister said, and catch up with you, what should I expect? Like, what kind of difference would it make?
What kind of difference would it make?
Right, as far as the information that you're putting out, because you're speaking a different language to me. Like I know you're speaking English, I'm just saying, but you're speaking chemistry type, and I don't really know chemistry that well. I would have to study it. And I'm just saying,
You
once I
don't
do
have
study it and
to.
get a better understanding of it, like what like is this going to change directions and like put
It's gonna change your perception of life. That's what we're saying. It's not about the land mass. When you study earth science, you understand that all the land, the only thing that's separating it is water. It's to change your perception of the illusion that's in front of you so you dismantle it. It's to bring you back to nature, right? Because right now you're too far in his system, something that you taught them, you're now like, oh, I'm puzzled. That's a problem. Everything that he knows
Scientifically,
scientifically, you're the gateway. You're below your frequency in their system. you're not studying, you're too busy in their programming, and then the program works, so now you're working. And
No,
then
but
when you
I got
speak
you.
and
I
you
got
can
you.
come
And
over the weekend, so you're
I've
not
already.
studying.
But the thing is, you're
Sorry to cut
saying,
you
what
off.
is this gonna do? But right now, 25 million of our children are getting taught by somebody who is genetically and biologically different from us. And I don't see no natural organism in nature getting taught by a different species. I don't see lions sending their cubs to elephant school. I don't see rhinos sending their children to hippopotamus school. But here we are sending 25 million of our children daily to people who have animal DNA. Asians, Arabs, Dravidians, all of them, white people, all of these people got here through spontaneous generation and have a mixture of different animal genetics to make up one organism. So we're giving our species to a different species because we don't understand that we're even a species. So we're letting landmass divide us on how he told us the landmass was. He views
All right.
things, the white man, listen, the white man and Asian man, they view things separate because that's how they were made. They were made from different separate parts of different animals. So they're gonna view life as separate. We view life as oneness because we all came through living matter, invisible matter, which is electrons, ether particles. So this is what we're telling you.
You're asking what is this gonna do for our people? Is that your motive?
It's gonna, yeah,
I'm
and
just trying to see what he's gonna say.
Oh yeah, definitely. As far as practical application, definitely I want to because if you're talking to me and you're like going like too far away, then it becomes more of a posturing type thing. I want to
So
know, I want to know like just next step, practical understanding, practical application because you're saying a lot, and with me not really understanding beyond the few little pieces of understand the bits of understanding that I've received from like certain conscious people, I
brother, you
am not
came in
able to
here
keep up.
saying that
So I'm just
I got you.
go
You
ahead.
came in here saying you came in here talking about unity. You said
Yeah,
unity.
I
So
did.
right now you think you went to the Bahamas and you think you're in America. Would you say that you are one with nature? No. So when we're talking about unity and coming together, you have to come in unison with yourself. You have to want that for yourself. This is not like a blueprint, 1, 2, 3 step. If you don't care, then respectfully leave the life. You know what I'm saying? If you're just saying unity and you don't actually want to see it, leave. Right? If you don't understand the verbiage that's being discussed in here, you're not going to actually tap in to understand it. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm telling you to leave. Where if you understand that there's an issue within our community with division, then that's the goal. If we're struggling with being divisive and the system was created to divide us, then quite literally unifying is the end goal. How do we unify? You have to unify with yourself, because if we come together right now, just like you asked us, you wouldn't be much of an asset to what we're trying to build. We're trying to set it up for the next generation, and you have no clue where to start. You have to start with yourself and see the value in yourself so that way you can teach another son, another brother, the value in himself. That's it. It's just to pass down knowledge of self to the next. That's right now we're passing down indoctrination. That's all we're saying. We're passing down the titles, we're passing down meat, sugar, mucus, poison, you name it. So this is what the host is saying, and he's explained it to y'all like several different ways. I'm listening to what he's saying and how y'all are picking it up. Y'all are barely picking up what he's putting down. It's because we're not actively listening to what he's saying. You came in here, brother, saying unity. That's golden. You got to sit with yourself and see, how can I unify my people back together? That's for you. We each have different pieces to the puzzle. In order for us to be a puzzle, we have to unify. You got to see the value in your brother. You got to speak to him when you pass him on the street. You got to acknowledge each other's divinity. You gotta stop littering, right? You gotta understand the earth that you're on. If he told you that it was a womb, then you should be studying earth science. You should be studying inner earth. You should be studying the trees. Like, that's, you're saying we're speaking a different language. We're just talking about stars. We're just talking about trees. We're just talking about cells. This is what makes up everything.
Literally.
Okay, so yeah,
Listen,
I appreciate you guys sharing. I basically have my own way of thinking. This is definitely not for me. I'll move on.
This is not for you.
okay,
So
so
the fact,
unity, so you can't.
so the
Thank
fact,
you
so
for your energy,
so the
bro.
fact that our
Like,
children is missing is
it's
not
not
for
for
you.
you. I'm done with the
But you trying to
live.
unify.
I'm done. I'm off live for the night,
So you
bro.
trying to unify, but how are we gonna unify with 8 million of our
You
children
came here
missing?
talking about unity, and it's not for
Man,
you. We done. This was our third account. We already got taken down off of the main. It was
yeah,
way. They already trying to stifle the message.
that's
Anyways,
crazy,
this is
man.
our third account. We're done. Like,
And this and guys
wow, man.
and my brothers and mothers of life in this life, when you wake up in the next rising and you wonder why we not where we're supposed to be, you wake up and you still see the clock, the calendar active, you still see the jobs running. It's because you might see the truth, but 30,000 or 40,000 of our brothers and sisters in that same city is thinking just like that, thinking just for the eukaryotic cell, generating their system that was built off our G side. This is what's happening. We're not even seeing how this is affecting us. We saying unity, but we don't care about each other. We saying unity, but we jealous of each other. We show
Yeah.
envy. We want to one up each other.
Oh, this not for me. Bye.
Like, this
bro,
is
you just
sad,
hung
bro.
up on your entire I'm good. I'm telling you, man.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
What the thoughts
Yeah.
and the actions that you have
That's what I be
today,
going through.
tomorrow.
Go ahead. Oh, my bad.
No, that's
Yeah.
all I was saying. I was just saying the thoughts and the actions that you make today make tomorrow.
Literally.
Be careful of what you're choosing today and what you're thinking, because your thoughts travel as fast as light, up to 11 million miles. So they leave the planet and go set to other planets. Why do you think we're the biggest Netflix show right now? Everybody's pulling up. You see the solar system is filled with comets. It's filled with all of our brothers and sisters. They're not really comets. They're watching us
But you would
because
only
you're
know.
sending those. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you will only know that if you're simultaneously studying science.
Literally.
You would have to understand the composition of the atmosphere and what can actually flow through it. What would that be? So the news is not mysticizing shit. They making up the lie behind what's actually real, which is the biology behind everything. If you're studying that, they can't lie to you. So when you're in here talking about what does this do for me, nigga, this the truth. What the fuck is wrong with, like, what the hell? That should be
Exactly.
pissing me off. Like, I'm not. Let me chill, bro. We sitting here telling you dismantle the lie. These ones are, what is the truth gonna do for you? It's gonna set you free. Like, what the? I can't, bro. Who
Bruh.
up next, bro? Like, it be right in front of our face,
I
man.
want to say something.
Go ahead, Boomberg.
Yeah, we're pre-coded before we're born, and that's what people don't understand. We're pre-coded before, like a tree is. It's not gonna if it's the apple tree, it's gonna produce apples. It's not gonna be a pear tree. It's gonna do apples. It's apple tree. So we all everything organic is pre-coded before even coming to existence. Like, so the thing with us, we was distracted, like you said, we wasn't talking, and the distraction came with these writings and stuff, these religious texts and stuff, and that's the beginning part. And then you got the radio after that. Then you got the TV, and then it came down to the phone. But these are all distractions from the sun, because we've already programmed by the sun. The information be formed from the photons. So when you go to the very beginning, like I said, and like y'all said, we wasn't talking, and we didn't have to do it because we was in tune with the sun. We was in tune. That's why you see the animal just ran out of Yellowstone Park, and they found out with tsunami wave coming. They in tune. They not domesticated. They not in nobody's house that's reading the Bible or nothing. They outside and they still in tune. So be seeing evidence of us not being in tune with who we are. We're solar beings. And this is the situation here. and we're distracted. So when you got people coming up here, you getting to see how deep the distraction is. You got the milk, you got some they watch TV. They got to come out all these different phases of things that they got program they watch on TV daily. They got all this different stuff that you got to break through to get to them because of all the distractions. TV, radio, phone, all this stuff that they induce with. That's why I'm saying there's layers with people. It's like we got to break. It's like layers. And I've been through this just being with the gods of earth, building with people. Some dudes take a little bit more time. Some dudes is more fast. Some dudes is different. But just being in parts of a body of people that's trying to do the right thing, I just learned the pace. And at the time, we wasn't eating right. We started getting on to eating right as we was getting our lessons and stuff, doing the fasting. That's just the beginning part. But the good thing about that is we are taught knowledge is infinite, and we are here to study all sciences of life. That's what the gods of earth. So I could go forward and be into genetics. I could be into Christianity, look into that. I could go into Buddhism, look into that. Because we're allowed to do that, to do that kind of stuff as a God. But it's about knowledge itself. As long as you know who you are and you go about life. That's why, like I said, that's why I'm at this level with y'all and able to tap into genetics more and stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's connection. Yeah, pardon me. That's connection to, like I said, the beginning and the stuff that y'all talking about.
Yeah, and like my other half was saying, like we need to
Be studying science.
we need to be studying science. Like even he said it. You're not gonna see a tree have oranges and apples at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Everything has its own pre-coded DNA. You see what I'm saying? If we gotta be aware that we have energy, and if we're not using the energy, somebody else is more aware of your energy and is misusing it. That's what's going on. If you're not using your energy and you're energetically here alive and you don't have no clue about it, somebody else is using it. You have to be aware of that. So I just really wanted our people to get that. And that was a beautiful breakdown, brother.
An apple don't produce pear. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's coded within its DNA. So we're coded within our DNA to be sun people, and we say we sun God and we mother this, earth this, and we don't study the earth or the sun. That's a problem. Because if we know that, we should explore it.
And we shall not let no distraction on this planet distract us from our species, from our children. How can we let a phone distract us from our children? How can we let AI, how can we let the food, how can we let titles distract us from our children and their growth and development? So when people say, oh, like that's a distraction, from what though? What is it distracting? How can you be so distracted to not know about your body, to know how it functions, to know how genetics passes down? Why isn't that a problem? That all these eukaryotic cell organisms, every time you talk to them, every time you see them on TV, they're trying to get you away from genetics.
Yeah.
They're trying to hide the fact that how your genetic flows in unison and harmony with the universe.
Do we understand that us coming to TikTok to discuss racism is an indirect conversation about genetics? Do we understand that? Do we understand that racial theory is made up? Then you got the racist lives talking about the money is gonna go to the Congo. I'm like, you sending more money over there for him to keep doing that? Do we know any Congolese brothers and sisters that are in charge of those organizations? So then how the hell are you sending white fucking dollars to help our brothers over there that's mining? And do you honestly think that if they knew that you were sending chunk change, you working for this white man for 12 hours a day, and instead of giving them your whole paycheck, you want to give them chunk change from TikTok?
Yeah, and what's been happening in Congo has been happening for more than 20 years. So people have been sending money there, and more women are getting raped. More children are mining for they give me a restriction. So I don't know what's going on. They give me a warning. Now it's a restriction.
That's never even happened before for gifts. What the hell? They talking about y'all can't gift us no more. When has TikTok ever sent a notification like that?
But it's fine though. It's just
our third
This is our
That
third
shit wild,
account. Like
bro.
with this same topic, they knocked us off in 30
Instantly.
minutes.
Once we got up to like 65 viewers, they took it off.
Yeah.
And we wasn't even live 20 minutes and we was already banned. I went to my backup. They wasn't letting really nobody in there. The views wasn't going past 10.
Exactly.
Then we're on here. They don't want to push it in the algorithm. They talking about some no more gifts.
Exactly.
There's only one person in here. It's not even nobody. Barely like with the.
Exactly.
So they just didn't want us to talk about it, bro. I wish I could go live tomorrow.
That's how you
That's
know.
okay.
I'm gonna go live tomorrow, and
I'ma
we just
go
gonna
during
keep
the day,
pushing.
though.
Yeah. All right, bet.
Yeah.
And
On
it's
Dylan
like,
is in.
bet.
Did I get taken down off
No, yeah, it
the
was,
J and the Dime?
yeah. So
On both?
Yeah, so you
So
gotta
that's
go.
the only one we got left.
Yeah, for real.
Damn.
This one and the other one. That's fine though. But for real though.
I could go live for y'all.
Oh yeah, brother. Boomberg, we need to see you go live too on your own.
Actually, I seen Bloomberg live
Oh,
the
okay.
other day, but he didn't have no topic, so I didn't know what was going on.
Okay, bet. All right, Boomberg. Yeah, we gonna see about the live for real. You feel what I'm saying? We need to spread this message. So
Just let me
it's
know.
Let me check the comments. Talking about it was the G word willing to bet money. Probably
man.
it could have been. That's what I was thinking about. But it's the fact that they be censoring the way that we talk. Like we not on the phone already talking like this to each other, or like they talking about we can't do it on the app. That's how you know it's fake. How can I not talk how I want to on an app where everybody's talking? They talking about you can't do it in real time on live. Like what the hell?
And that's how you know they don't want us to talk about this topic. They know that that's what they're doing. You gotta watch how lives run. When you see those lives with 300 plus viewers, those be the lives talking to men versus women or African versus African American. Those be the lives with 300,
400 people in there.
because they want that. They love that. They even the FBI and them tapping the screen. Even they tapping the screen
even
saying,
they
"Yay, we want this shit." You see what I'm saying? But when they see these type of lives, because it's their job, they get plus 6 figures to keep dividing us, is whether through social media, through our daily lives, and they check on us with infrared lenses to see our aura, to see our different states of our emotions, because our emotions run in orbit like stars go. And stars and planets go in orbit with each other. That's the same way our energy rolls through our chakras and meridians. So they know this. You see what I'm saying? So they trying to just stop the fact that we spreading the message of, yo, we not none of these titles that they gave us. You have our children. We want to medically and psychologically evaluate our children. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. And
That's unity.
That's unity.
That's why I'm saying he talking about some
Not participating.
What are we supposed to do? Not fuck with them.
That's it.
That's man.
That's it.
That's
People
it.
asking, what is the
Around
solution?
Yeah.
Stop participating.
Yeah.
Stop giving energy to the system. Give energy to your brother and sister more than you give energy to the system.
Facts.
Give more energy to the children than you give energy to the system.
And
so come on.
You give less and less energy. Instead of going through an electric company, solar lights. What do you mean? Ceiling fan lights? Solar ceiling fan lights? Like, it's not an excuse. You can rely on the sun. When it comes to, they poison the food. Okay, grow. Seeds are what? Chunk change. You can get that with TikTok money. We just got too many excuses. We not really wanting to lock in. Go ahead, brother.
And you notice they call giving thanks worship and paganism to distract us from giving thanks to the sun. But I can say thank you. I can say thank you to somebody, but if I give thanks to the sun, that's paganism and some kind of worship. And that's another distraction.
Yeah, because that's what the matriarch was. The matriarch gave pay homage to the universe. Everything in the universe. Our fall to patriarchy was us subscribing to so-called Father God, when it was always the mother. When everything that produces and gives life in nature is feminine. So the thing is like they have us quite literally worshiping toxic masculinity. patriarchy. And that's our problem. You know what I'm saying? We have to re-feminize the planet. Our brothers have to start tapping more into femininity, because femininity is harmony. So in order for us to come in balance with ourselves, we each have to start healing that wounded feminine, and find that balance within ourselves. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna ever see the problem if you're subscribing to the problem. You're not gonna see it, bro. You can't just say, okay, what's the problem, when you have no intention of really being for real about this. I don't mean it to be disrespectful. I mean it for the energy in which, like, I'm saying it. Like, if you aren't about the expansion of your people, leave us the fuck alone.
Facts. That's truth.
Like, if you're not really wanting to see it, don't request up. I'm gonna start saying that every live. If you're just trying to be here, come up here to be facetious, like, okay, well, how do you live your day-to-day life? Why would you ask us that when you're eating meat? Why would you ask us that when you don't understand half of what's being discussed in here? That's not necessarily fair to the brother or sister that's live, that's actually trying to share their energy. You're trying to stifle it. We don't really want to see growth for real, and we don't really want to hold each other accountable.
Yeah, y'all
That's
trying
it.
to change your lifestyle, but not your life. That's why you asked us,
Facts.
what do you do on a daily basis?
Facts.
You trying to know what our lifestyle is to see if you can quickly subscribe to that. Oh, I can eat fruits in the sun. I can look good eating fruits in the sun, but you're not even knowing what those food is doing bioelectricity to your cells. You don't even know what it's doing. You don't know how your blood is passing on those nutrients from those fruit to organ to now your organs breaking those down. You don't understand the breath that you're breathing in is negative ions, and then your body transmuting it to positive ions and storing it in the stomach for later energetic use.
Yeah.
You're not understanding that. You see what I'm saying? So you just want to subscribe to the lifestyle and not understanding that it's the life that we need to understand.
And it's okay to acknowledge and say, okay, where do I start? It's not like for
Yeah.
us to gatekeep. Like the brother that got down off of the panel, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, I heard this before. He was honest. He was like, I just chose not to. Them the brothers and sisters that we can work with. Like collectively, like as a species, we can work with people that can admit, okay, I don't know this information. I'm not even going to try to act like I do. Where do I go to learn more so that I can actually add, so that I can be an asset to my people? Right? You know what I'm saying? But instead, people will go get the books. Some people go get the books, and then they collect dust. We know people with more books than us. I'm like, how you got more books? More well-versed books that we don't even have. And we're not able to articulate it. That means that there's a lack of hunger somewhere. So it starts with that. Like what actually drives you? Like when you get up every day, what are you doing with those theta waves? What are you thinking about? Because that's your reality. Whatever your thoughts are chronically, that's what you're thinking about. You think about, I'm the real Indian. You subscribing to their system, so that's what your thoughts are about.
Yeah.
Is how can I be a better Indian? How can I be a better so-called slave? Right? When you're like, we want reparations, like a brother, when we was live, what was that the other day? Was that last night or the other day? Or whatever.
The other day, like
yeah,
2-3
2
days
days.
ago.
Yeah, we was live. You talking about some, well, I don't know if y'all seen it, but we will get the reparations. They just came out like, bro, we gotta be for real about it. If bro told you he was gonna pay you back 400 years ago, you being insane, still waiting on it? In exchange for him injecting the women with monkey semen and putting us in human zoos, feeding our babies to crocodiles, you want their money.
With their faces on it.
And you already know that the land is yours. You talking about something, he gonna give it back. The fuck? We sitting here saying the Africans ain't us. We gotta, man, I did not know it was that many elders that thought like that. I thought that was just a small TikTok community that was saying that. I didn't know it was thousands of people globally. Like the vast majority of, it's a lot of our people that think, oh, I'm from the motherland. You're not really from the motherland. Somebody was in the comments, they told me I was white. They was like, well, you're more white than we are. I'm like, that's not how genetics work though. If you've never studied genetics before, why are you trying to tell me my genetics? Why are you trying to tell me about my DNA when you've never studied it?
Yeah.
That's how come we can tell our people, because we picked up a book about it.
Yeah.
And then we didn't just stop with that book. We went to the next book and the next book. He was reading a book. I was reading a book. Documentaries, unbiased research, right? Emphasis on unbiased though. Because we, they talking about, oh, I typed this in, you said this and it said that. That's because you're typing in yes or no answers to Google. That's not research. Then it don't even be what I'm saying for real. I be like, that's not even what I said.
Yeah.
Now people want to be like, well, on this video at 30 minutes and 12 seconds, you said this. And then I'm like, bro, you're not even done with the live. I could have explained that point next. You know what I'm saying? We're not even giving it a chance. What does this mean? You 15 minutes in a 6-hour live? Nah.
And the thing is, we should be manifesting when we wake up. Like she said, if we manifesting America, that's gonna shape our reality. We should be manifesting light, information. Mother Universe, shine more light on me. Father, Son, shine more light on me. Brother, Son, shine more light. Because those light waves is information. Light codes that's gonna unlock amino acids in your body that's been dormant. You see what I'm saying? When I read something today, I'm gonna read it outside so it can make more sense. I can be in tune with my surroundings. I can expand my extrasensory perception, my higher sensory powers. That's the thing. That's what we gotta be manifesting. Everything you do, every time you get up, walk, think, breathe, use the bathroom, go out, like whatever you're doing, you're manifesting. So you gotta be in control of that and be in control of your urges. You're here to master your mind. So that's what I wanted to tell my people. Like, we have to really understand our mental state and how it fluctuates. So I don't know how long we finna be on here, but if anybody else wants to come up, you know what I'm saying? If anybody else wants to come up and explain to us why so-called black people are having an identity crisis when our DNA is telling us who we are, y'all can come up and tell us. Other than that,
we want to be these titles because we want money. That's really all it is. Like, people are into their genealogy because they think that they gonna hit jackpot and find a particular ancestor that had so-called land, and we're telling you that all the land is ours. If you're gonna use this system, use it to manifest a way out. Don't keep each other here. You know what I'm saying? If you can purchase so-called land right now, go do it and put your family on that land and strengthen the community between you and your family. Strengthen the connection between you and your family. Like, it's about building strong families. It's about coming together. If y'all really think it's about unity, then that's what it's got to be about. Right? And all the land belongs to you. There's nothing stopping you from actually grabbing a tent and going out in nature. Even if it's for a weekend, start shifting your mindset to rely more on nature, and I promise you that reality will unlock more truths for you. So, Boomberg, did you have anything else?
Yeah, you said that because as far as the sun, I see the sun telling us, as far as in general, as far as the information we form from the photon, to love thy neighbor, which is Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is telling us self-preservation, and I just keep it like that.
Facts. All right, y'all. If nothing else, I'm banned on the main, banned on the backup. We only got Zell's main and the backup. So if we see you again this so-called week, we see you again. But if nothing else, end the transmission, y'all. Gratitude.
and the transmission, y'all. Manifestation. That's what it's about. Abundance.